Hey, good morning guys. So I'm down here at the what is now known as the Boardman River, which is the colonizer name of the Ottaway River. And this morning it's the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians, the Natural Resources Department, and also the DNR, local conservation groups, taking part in a very historic event. It's a fish rescue. If you look up this channel here, you'll see there's some work going on in the distance. What's actually happening here is they're closing off the old channel, and this morning at about 7 o'clock the Ottaway River was put back into its relic channel, which is flowing around the other side. This dirt pile you're looking at here is what was dug out to create this secondary channel, and what's happening is this is being filled in. They're going to be using a shocker in the water to rescue all the fish and do a fish count here, which are then going to be transported further down the street into a different part of the river. So I'm going to let you guys look and see what's going on here. Feel free to share this. This is pretty cool. What they've got is a gentleman with a white hat in the center there is called Jimmy, and he has a shocker on his back. And what they're going to do is put a small current into the water, and that is going to temporarily shock the fish so that they can actually be rescued. And down here we have all the buckets and containers. Teams of people are going to be using nets to go ahead and transfer the fish. And then up at the bank, where you can't see but back up that hill, there's a big tank where the fish are going to be temporarily stored until they're returned for further down the river. Now this is in Michigan. This is Traverse City area of Michigan, but it's the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians. So this is quite the project. This is a really historic project. Hey Nathan, good morning to you. Because this is the first time that a federally recognized tribe and an Army Corps of Engineers have actually teamed together and co-managed a project. So the gentleman you see sinking in there with the green cap, that's Frank Deturi. If you were with us the other day, you will have seen at phase 1 we did a drone footage of phase 1, which was the Brown Bridge. This is actually part of phase 2. Phase 2 is the Boardman Dam, and shortly, probably early next week, around Wednesday, the water is going to be moved into the relic channel further down the river as well. So this should be pretty cool. We should see some different types of fish here. They talked about some brook trout, some brown trout. But this is some of the really cool work that the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians do that doesn't get shown, so it's nice you guys can come and see this. And later on we'll get Frank will come up here and talk to us a little bit as well and tell us a bit more about this. I've given you a high level overview of what's going on. But it's pretty cool because earlier this morning all the water was running through here, and if you look in the background well past the dozers, see that channel there's the relic channel, and this channel in the front here is the channel it was coming through. So you see where they're closing off this channel, so it's no longer going to be used, and restoring the river back to its original path. Before this river was colonized with logging, and the gentleman who was one of the main loggers here was called Captain Boardman. So I just heard from a gentleman here who's been doing these fish rescues. He's retired now, and he's been doing them for over 25 years here. The last logs went down the what was then called the Boardman River in 1919. So what they did was they dammed the river so that they could send millions and millions of logs down. And now what's happening is those dams that are no longer in compliance are being gradually removed, and the river's being restored back to its original path that it had taken for thousands of years. And this is one stage of it. So it's a really cool thing to be able to watch. And what you're watching down there that's the shocker in the water. And what they want to do is, this is eventually going to dewater completely. So before it dewaters completely, they're removing all of the fish that are in here to put them into the best part of the river. And then this eventually will all be filled in by all this earth you see up here that was dug out of here to create the relic channel on the other side. All this is going to gradually be put down into here using the dozers and the excavator. So we just had an eagle flying over. I missed it, but apparently that eagle is always here whenever they do any kind of fish rescue or anything respecting this river. The eagle always appears. So yeah, this is really historic. And actually coming up on Monday night, there was a documentary done all about this project, and that's going to be showcased Monday night, and I'll be there and be able to show you guys some of that too. So just waiting to see how many fish they're going to be able to pull out the river. If you're just joining, yeah, this is just outside of Traverse City in Michigan, and it's a project that's co-chaired or co-organized with the Army Corps of Engineers and the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians, sharing the lead on this project. And we're going to do a series of these talking about some of the funding that comes in from this. We're going to do one on the ecology of the river for you guys. These will all go up to YouTube as well. So yeah, this is really cool to actually be able to see what's happening and see people doing such great work for the environment. And none of this is ever showcased. So please do share this out and let people see this. Because a lot of the times the tribes, and I've been working with the Grand Traverse Band since March, and they've been doing some amazing work. And then you see local newspaper articles that don't even make a mention of what they're doing with this project at all. So it's time to showcase the people who are really doing this work and really organising it. In fact, the gentleman down there with the green cap is Frank Deturi, and Frank Deturi is the chair of the implementation team for this whole restoration project. And he particularly came on board with the Grand Traverse Band to help with this. But yeah, it's a really cool project, and it's really nice to be able to be involved and here. And it's really nice to see the cooperation between all the different departments and all the different agencies. And I know it's kind of noisy because we've got the dozer in the background, but hopefully you guys will get to see the first fish on the fish rescue coming out shortly, but who knows. Not yet. Yeah, we're just live, it's fine. So right now there's a debate, as there's already an exit to this river, as to whether the fish maybe just jumped out anyway. And just followed it down. But what they want to do is make sure make sure they don't get trapped in here as this is filled in, and then they would take them down. They've been talking about the different places further down the river that they will be put back into the river. They have oxygenated tanks up at the car park and temperature controlled, so they can possibly also make sure they sort the fish depending on what comes out, and make sure the place that it goes to is going to be a good environment for it. Welcome Iceland, that's really cool. The whole world could take some lessons from what you guys do with a lot of your policies regarding nature and energy, Iceland, because you guys certainly lead the way in some of that stuff. So this is looking a little bit like most of my fishing trips I've ever done. You know, Jack, I'm not the best person to talk about the morphology of rivers, because I'm just learning about all of this stuff. But we are going to be doing a series of little live streams, and that's one of the things we're going to be talking about, the ecology of the river, and why it's important to return it to its original path. And there's a lot of science behind it, and behind how they work in the environment, and how the river flows to do with temperatures. So there's many different factors to that. So we're going to wander down a little bit and see, we've got the safety here as well. Don't go for a swim. Said don't go for a swim. It's the bank's a little. Jimmy's testing to see if the water's being shocked or not. I love that. So right now we've got a second fish shocker coming in, as there's to see if
I think what's happening, so it's putting out power, but it's not very strong. And if you try to go up any, it's not, it won't run. Safety shot something.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Let's see, we caught a Pepsi can. Nice find. So no fish, but quite a nice sun hat. It's a good rescue by the newest employee of the Grand Traverse Band.
Is that on Facebook?
Yeah, it's live on Facebook right now.
So can you access that afterwards
Yeah, it just sits up there. People, you can watch it live, or you just watch it as a video later on. Yeah, you can find it on my Facebook. Okay. I'll give you a card later.
Okay, I got on your Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
But I don't spend a lot of time on it. I don't know.
Yeah, this is underwhelming so far.
Yeah, these shockers are notoriously finicky.
But it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
So they got a second shocker in the water up there. Guys, thanks Shamila. It's really cool to be able to be part of this and see this happening. So we're going to follow the other shocker down towards the main channel, and actually I might walk down and show you the main channel.
Yeah, I got to go help them. This isn't going to look good. Yeah.
So as we walk down this way, I'll show you what we're looking back up. I'm good, how are you? So what I'm going to show you here is you got the main, I'm trying not to fall in the water here, but this is the actual river channel here, and if you look here to the right hand side as you're looking is where they've opened up the relic channel. And you can tell it's the relic channel because as the way that they can tell where the relic channel is, if you look and see these stumps on the far side here, these were originally at the side of the original Ottaway River. So they were on the banks. So if you see, there's some there, and then if you look, there's one right in the center of the shot right now, and one in the center of the shot in the distance. So that's how they're able to know they found the relic channel. And then this channel here that you're looking at, which is where they're doing the fish rescue, was where the river had been rerouted through the dam process. And this is a removal of 3 dams and modification of another dam. This is the largest dam project in Michigan, and as I said, this is historical because this is the first time the Army Corps and a federally recognized tribe have co-managed a project, and so that's what they're doing for this phase. That the Grand Traverse Band had the lead on the Brown Bridge, which was the first one, and then with regards to this one, this is a co-lead with the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians and the Army Corps of Engineers. And yeah, the reason these were human dams that were put in as part of the logging process. So millions and millions of trees were logged in Michigan by a gentleman in this area called Captain Boardman, and this river, originally called the Ottaway, was renamed the Boardman River, which is its current name. That's the colonized name of the river. So this is about restoring the Ottaway River back to its original path, to promote the correct ecology, the correct types of fish, and eventually get this name changed back to the Ottaway River, because currently it's called the Boardman River, and that's something that is possibly going to need some public help with, and some support from you guys talking about this. But really the reason we're here is because the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians do so much good work for the environment with their natural resource department, and no one ever hears about it. And when the local press come here, you know, they write articles about this and don't even mention the fact that the Grand Traverse Band are a co-chair on this project. Don't mention the fact that the chairman of the implementation team is from the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians Department of Natural Resources. So there's never the correct accolades for the great work that this tribe is doing. So part of the reason I'm here is to share that and let people know, because so many times the true story is not told. So I know it's a bit early for some of you guys coming in. Honestly, it's a bit of an early start for me too. And what we're looking at here, I'll show you guys this little piece of equipment. But Jimmy, tell us what this is.
Yeah, hi everybody. This is a backpack electrofisher. This is one of our standard gears that we use for fisheries projects, particularly wadable streams. We're having a little bit of issues with it operating in this turbid water. So conductivity in the water obviously affects how much current's able to go through the water, and so we're trying to get our settings right here. Obviously, when you're dealing with electricity and water, there's a lot of safety factors involved, and so there's a lot of safety factors built into protecting the equipment, and it's protecting itself basically from overloading in this turbid water. So we're working on getting the settings right. Looks like the DNR is able to get their battery operated one to a setting where it'll run. So they're, I believe, actively catching fish right now, and see if we can get this set and start working.
Awesome. Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you.
So in the distance, what you're watching is the other team with their shocker, and hopefully we'll see some fish in the near future. So, Jimmy, what kind of fish are you expecting to see from here?
Yeah, so
talk a
I
little
haven't
bit
been to
about
this
what's
site
in there.
specifically to sample.
Generally.
But just with the water temperatures, everything else that we see here, we would expect brook trout and brown trout, especially. Sculpin, we actually did net one small sculpin just without even the shock gear by chance. And that's kind of your typical cold water fishery. Trout, sculpin. We might see some minnows. We're kind of transitioning into a slightly warmer area here. Again, I'm not sure this exact spot, but I would expect to more than likely see mostly brook trout, brown trout, sculpin, and possibly the occasional warm water species.
And then, what's your role with the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians?
I am a fish and wildlife biologist, particularly with inland fisheries is my main objectives. So I help Frank here, who sort of heads up GTB's operations with the board whenever he needs fisheries-related activities. So things like running this gear, working on data downstream here on the river for the Fish Pass project. We're coordinating. DNR is assisting us with some annual, seasonally samples down there for species composition, stuff like that for the Fish Pass project. And then other non-boardman related activities, things with the 2007 Inland Consent Decree. So writing and working with the tribe's hunting and fishing regulations, working with the IFC, which is all 5 Cora tribes in the state of Michigan, and it's kind of the committee, Inland Fish Committee, that kind of hashes out any issues we have with consent decree fisheries issues, or things like walleye population, sturgeon harvest. There's a lot of coordination with fish sampling events, because obviously we're all working on the same body of water. It makes sense to work with each other and coordinate, make sure we're all covering and doing as much as we can. Yeah, so that's what I do.
Awesome. And you're going to be at some point next week getting together with Frank, and we're going to be doing a bit more detail about the ecology and why.
Just
why
kind of
this is
basic
good
ecology
for
of the river, and why it's so important to open this river back up, to put it back in its relic channel. So Frank will be able to talk a lot about hydrology and why a river goes where it goes, why it needs to go there, why if you move it, that river will fight tooth and nail, and it will win most times, to go back to where it really should be. And then we'll cover ecology of river, right? What makes a healthy river? What makes a healthy ecosystem in the river? Not just fish, but invertebrates, water quality, things like that, which spans everything from inverts and things like that, bacteria even, all the way up to humans. And,
awesome.
why it'll improve the river overall.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to that. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Shamila, yes, absolutely. You'll be able to find this on Facebook when it's finished at any point, but it's also going to end up on YouTube. You can find that on my channel, and you'll be able to just go to my Facebook wall and find this when you need to find this. So what we'll probably do for now is just end this for now, and then we'll come back live again in a bit and see how this is progressing and talk about it again and show some more people what's going on. So thanks for you guys for joining, and be sure to keep checking back because we're going to have some more things coming live shortly. If you want to see the voice behind the camera, there you go, and we'll be back live later. So keep watching the page, and look out for this being uploaded onto YouTube as well, so you can find it to refer to it in the future. Thanks so much, take care, bye bye.